Hey everyone, so in this tutorial, I'll show you how to add custom bones for things like the pigtail hairs and also a custom bone for the butt. So we'll use a tentacle rig set for the hair, and then we'll use a super copy for the butt, which is this bone. And it'll help you deform the butt when you sit. Hey everyone, so this tutorial is going to be about adding custom bones to the Rigify rig, and this is our example character where they have pigtails, and we want to try to add bones and add custom bones for the pigtails. And also, we want to use the rig as a posing rig, so we're not too worried about animation, but you could also probably use this for animation. The one thing I want to do is I want to add an extra bone to the Rigify rig for the butt. So when you lift your leg, this bone will help keep the butt less deformed. So and it also gives you the control of moving that bone, so you can kind of adjust the shape of the butt as it sits. So I'll show you quickly what the rig looks like. I mean the model, sorry. The model, I kind of did a quick thing where I made it within, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Rigify, I mean, sorry, I think Automatic Weights doesn't like models with many pieces, many separate parts, and also it doesn't like models that are very high. But I don't know exactly what the reason why Automatic Weights don't work sometimes. But just in case, I tested this already, and this model would work. So this whole model is 70K, and also it's two parts. So if I go edit mode, separate by parts, by loose parts, you'll see that it's two parts. So the head and the torso. And combine. So your model would probably be much cleaner, like quads, and it's probably lower. But for the testing purposes, we'll just showcase the rigging on this model. So the first thing is we have our empty model. I'm going to combine this real quick. Just rename it. So you got the character, and then I want to add a Rigify rig. So I go Control A. Wait, no, sorry. Now we're in object mode. Go to Shift A. Go to Armature, Meta Rigs, and we'll just add a human. Oh, I made a mistake. So you can see the 3D cursor is where it rests, and it's way up here. I don't want that. You can see I put the character kind of at origin. So what we could do to reset this is go to Shift S and do cursor to world origin, so it goes back to 0, 0. I wonder if you can see that. Yeah, you can see 0, 0 on the cursor. And then after that, we do Shift A, Armature, Human, and then I'm gonna I think I'm gonna speed up the video, and you can also speed up the video if you feel like I'm going too slow. But I'm gonna speed this up and edit later. But we're just gonna position the bones roughly where our character's bones are. I'm also not going to do the face rig because in this case we don't need it, but you could obviously match it up and get that working. Let's see. I want to let's see, what do I want to do? Why is this showing in front? Oh, it's because I'm in the rendered mode. So let's go solid mode. That lets me do X-ray. X-ray for me is Alt C. I think that's default. And then what's really useful is also if you're sometimes you want these bones, but sometimes you're working over here and it's hard to tell what's happening. So you could also click this, put it in front, or the model in front. And I think the in front hotkey is, let's see, what's the in front hotkey? Oh, it's in here. So you go object, and I think it's this one right here. So is it here? Yeah, object in front. So if I go front, yeah. So if you like that, you can make that one of your quick favorites, like I do. and this is in object mode. So you could do that if you like. I found it kind of helpful for making the bones go in front, or especially like weight painting. And I also did show bones, hide bones, and weight painting, but it's not here right now. But let's see. So one thing I think when I'm starting is the scale point is here, which is good. And I want to line up the hips, kind of seeing that point there. One thing you have to be careful of is you want to keep this centered, and I might purposely break the center, and show you how you could fix it. One way you could fix it. Um, there's also a great, I'll link it in the description of the video, I think, where I think Blender has a documentation to show you like where ideally you place these bones. So you could use that as a guide as well. Let's see. So I kind of messed up, I think, here, where I made the leg in this pose by default, and maybe it would be better if I had not put in this pose. So this controls if the foot goes like this. Like you could this is at the, like based on this rotation point, it like flips this way, or based on this rotation point, it flips this way. I think it's like the roll or something. I don't know exactly, but I think for our purposes, we probably won't really touch the controls down here. But this leg position is probably bad for this. Let's just see. Going to front view, side view. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is to turn this on. I think we got lucky with this stuff. I was moving this, but I was selecting through it. But you got to make sure that's on, so. Kind of trying to see, maybe right here, kind of roughly where the real life joint position is for the hip joint. Also, so in the documentation, it says like this area will be rigid, this area will be bendable, this area is the rib cage and it's rigid, this area is bendable, and then this is rigid, that's the head. So bendable, rigid, rigid, bendable. So let's keep that in mind. Let's see. Grab that guy. Trying to put it kind of center. And I think over time you'll do this a couple times, you'll like kind of know what feels good. Like when you place it, the first couple times you'll like have to guess. And let's see, where is this? This looks like a nightmare, but I think it's not as bad once you know what things are and all that. I'm just gonna roughly, I'm looking at this bone, so that's kind of where the rotation, like the point where the skull rotates off the neck. If you put this too low, you kind of get like gooseneck effect where it looks like there's extra bones in the neck. So I'm purposely gonna kind of keep it high. Let's see where this is. I'm gonna flicker, what is it called? X-ray mode. I'm gonna flicker X-ray mode to kind of get an idea where that is. I'm okay with that. And let's see the neck. Also, another thing is my character, it's almost like their knee is backwards or very straight, so you'll get weird errors with which way the IK is facing. So ideally you have a little bend. So bending forward like this means the IK would hang over here, and if you use IK, lift your leg, it won't go backwards like a triceratops or a chicken or something, or I don't know, or an alien, what do you call that? An alien deer or something. But in my case, I'm using kind of this more as a posing tool versus an animation tool. So the Rigify, so I'm going to be just leaving FK on the whole time, so this position won't matter too much because I'm not going to be using the FK system. Just going through. I'm a little rushing too, so positions might not be 100% perfect. We're not going to touch the bones up here. You could definitely go through and do it, but we're not going to use that stuff anyway. So this is the collarbone. I want to try to make this video relatively as short as possible so we don't have to skim through me rambling about something that's not important, which probably will happen anyways. But so the cool thing is, if I do this right now, medium point, it kind of centers it based on, I think, the center mass or something, which is great overall. But in our case, we want to do it based on this arm. So you can go, what is it? I think it was active element. So this turned yellow, and now it's rotating on this point. So let's go front view, try to get it placed. The shoulder is really complex and weird, and there's so much happening there. So you might have to go back and adjust where this places. But for now, let's just go right there. Bring this down, and also the same thing with the fingers. With the has the same problem with the. Wait, let me turn this back to. Well, actually, let's do this. Yeah. It'll have the same problem as the knee, where I think it's not really based on the individual rotations of the bones, but rather like they're arcing. There's some arc. So like if they're all arcing right here, like that's where the finger controls will generate. So you have to be careful. If you have really straight fingers going front to back, or like because these are like kind of doing this arcing, so it's gonna be, if I line them up, I have to do like something in the middle where if I match them perfectly, the controls will be really odd. But if I make them too straight, they won't match the fingers. So you can either model them very straight and then, use the Rigify to add the arc after. Or you can kind of, in my case, I'll do something in the middle where I won't match it perfectly probably, but I'll give it some arc to match what's happening in the model. So you have to kind of pre-plan for that. But I want to switch back to medium. It's a little easier right now, I think. Or I could do cursor. So I could do like right here and be like, oh, okay, so it's all this is going to rotate based on that cursor. So if you look at the Blender documentation, oh, these are overlapping by the way, so you want to make sure to grab them right here. These are kind of like the things that run up your arm. Let me switch to medium point. I just feel like it's natural. Let me see what we're doing here. This is way out. Let me see. This is, what is this? What is this? Oh, this is the breast. Kind of just roughly place it. So I'm thinking this bone will be kind of where it sits on the torso. And then this is the tip of the boob, like that. Let's see. Hand, you would need to spend a lot more time on the hand than I'm gonna probably do here, but we'll be kind of lazy, I think. Well, maybe I shouldn't be lazy. I could just speed up the video, but ooh, that's not good. Let's switch back to active element and make sure this is the last guy picked. There you go. So that way it bends inside that point. You can also scale. If you had quad geometry, nice clean geometry, you could see where these cuts are happening. But in my case, it's just decimated, so these are going to bend horribly. But if you had nice geometry, you could see where these are and use them as guides to place your joints. But I can't do that in my case. So object mode, click the bones, click wait, what am I doing? What am I saying? I was thinking of weight painting, I'm sorry. Ignore that. Okay, let's just select the bones and go back to edit mode. So this tip goes to the tip of the finger. Okay, and just generally the placing. Let's go back over here. Let me think here. I'm gonna purposely switch back to medium point. Now let's go to cursor. Yeah, that feels better right there. So kind of switching between those different rotating modes. Trying to place the knuckle. This one should probably be straighter. Let's see. This guy. Let's actually go through here and just kind of place them here. You can probably go top view as well. Although this won't give us super accurate results either, but we might get rid of, help us do one of the axes right now. Bring this back more. And maybe try to line this up in an arc more. Wait, what's this? Oh. There, there, there. This. Wait, what's happening there? Okay. There, there. Okay. Oops. This one's actually needs to be over here. This one's maybe over there. Okay. See how it's looking. Now we gotta worry about the other axes. I'm just pressing G and grabbing them and translating them. Let's go back to active element. So the last thing we click, be rotating, scaling. Again, try your best not to break this. We'll show in a second if you do break it. Actually, you know what? Let's break it right now. So, boom. Oh no, I broke it. I didn't realize I broke it. I've got to come back to this. So what you could do is turn on your magnet tool, go to vertex, grab this guy, drag it on top, it snaps vertex. I'll show you later snapping to the center line and how it's probably not the fastest way, but it's a way that works. So I'll show you guys that one later. Lots of stuff happening in the hand. And if you happen to do this and it doesn't turn out, you could always regenerate it and adjust them as you go. So let's see. Bring that back a little. Try to always kind of zoom around different angles, make sure it's working from multiple angles. I'm going to be kind of lazy, but you can kind of see generally what we were shooting for. And we'll see based on how we did, how it'll generate. And you'll get an idea of like what could have been better and stuff like that. So I think I want to pull this back a bit more. It's kind of like if you imagine turning in your thumb, like where that turning point happens. So this is one right there, side, a little higher there. Okay, so generally happy with that. Let's go. So that's good. We're not gonna touch the face. Just looking at the headphones, and I'll show you. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, we gotta change this back to medium point, I think. So let's say we break this bone right here. So we're working. We actually offset it. We're like, oh no, I forgot I did that, and now I need to fix it. So what we could do is let's hide this body for now. And I'm going to save, just to save. And then we're going to add, let's make sure our cursor is centered to the world. Shift S. Add a cube. And then edit the cube, add a cut. Right click to snap it to center. So now what I'm really interested in is this vertice. I'm going to use this vertice to snap to. Make it smaller so it's easier to work with. Bring it up. And in our case, we don't need to match this up here. We just want these both to snap to this. So you go to back to snap vertex mode, turn this on, grab this guy, edit mode, drag him right here, grab that guy, grab him right here, and then we don't need the cube anymore. And then we could unhide the character, go back to edit mode on the rig, and then let's drag that back to where we want it. Oh, I don't need this on anymore. So turn that off. Kind of like right there. Okay. So let's say we're happy with this. The face is not aligned, but it's okay. Oh wait, we double check something. This is a little distracting. Let's turn that off of wireframe. Edit mode, or yeah, edit mode. Just gonna double checking how it looks. Okay, overall I'm okay with it. Save again. So let's put this meta rig into the rig folder. So Rigify is a little confusing when you first start because it'll have two rigs, and what it is the meta rig is this, which kind of lets you edit and adjust, add to it, all that stuff. So it's kind of like the modifying one, and then once you generate, it's going to make another one which is going to let you pose and add weights to. So this meta rig isn't what you actually pose, it's kind of the creator, and you go back to it and we're going to add more joints to it. But for now, let me show you what we'll first do is just make it so it actually works on the model, and then afterwards we'll be like, hey, you know what, I want to modify this rig and I want to add bones for this hair, and I want to add a bone for the butt to help it not deform. So again, we're doing this like live, so it might not work, so cross our fingers, hopefully everything works. So let's click this guy, let's click the rig. One thing we're going to do is let's look at this we did here. So there is some scaling on this rig. I think when we first started we scaled it down a little. So I want to clear that, so let's go all transforms, or in object mode. All transforms, delete, that was Control A, all transforms. Now you can see it's zeroed out, no problems. And then we're going to do, where is this? We're going to go to this tab, data, go down, generate rig. It's going to take a sec. If it's stuck loading like this, it's a good sign. That means there was no errors. All right, made the rig. So let's hide the rigs for now. Let's get out of this mode. This is solid view. Let's see what this looks like. Let's work in this mode, and let's bring back the rig that it made. So this is the controls, all that. So it's off, all off, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna click on the character, and oh, we have data on this already because of my test earlier. Let's clear it real quick. So this is under data tab. This is vertex. This is like where all the weight data goes, I think. So I cleared it all. Over here, yeah, there's no arm. There's no armature here. So this is a clean slate mesh. So now let's add automatic weights for now, just to test things out. So click the body, click the generated rig, go to Control P, automatic weights. It's loading, which is good. I think it's a little heavy too, that's why it takes a while. So let's cross our fingers. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake or anything. Let's see, let's go. Let's click on the body real quick so you can see we're in data. These are all the vertex group, the weight data. And then you can also see in the modifier tab a rig armature. So now let's go back to the rig, press Control Shift to go to pose mode. You can see pose mode up here. And then we'll test moving it. So this is the FK, so it looks like it worked. We can obviously go in and clean skin weights, but overall, pretty cool. So let's see if we place the bones. So you could see right there, we got the alien tarantula leg going on because of where we placed the knee joint. But in our case, we wanted it there, or we have a super exaggerated leg pose. So And also you could see maybe control real quick. If that's okay. That worked out okay. So it's, obviously we put in this pose, so we kind of can't really, it's kind of stuck like that, but it's okay for our case. So like you see this, obviously if you're doing this for animation, you want to go back through it. You want to fix this if you want IK. But in our case, let's go to the item tab and click on this guy, and we could switch it just to use FK, which is what we're going to do. This one. So we went from 0 to 100, 100% FK now. So this one too, through IK to FK. So now if you grab these controllers, you can see you can move it that way. So you don't have to worry about FK in this case. Pretty bad skin weights there. Let's see if we can adjust it. Oh, you know what? Also, this model is, again, very bad like mesh. So that's maybe to some extent we can't really fix it. But also you can also add like a custom knee joint if you wanted to. But let's say in our case, what I wanted to do was show you how the butt would deform, and we will add a custom butt bone. So we grab all this, and I have a hotkey to reset all the poses, which is Control A. That is actually here. If you go pose, clear transforms, this guy. So it resets back to T pose. Let's see what this does. So let's go add a wireframe. So in our case, when we do this, it's actually not too bad. Oh, that's pretty bad over there. But what we're looking at, oh god, doing this, and you can see it does lose quite a bit of volume, and it doesn't look too bad. But if we add a bone, I think it'd be even better. So we could try that. Also, by the way, if you invest a lot of time posing right now, making an animation posing, all these keyframes, once you hit regenerate, so you go back to this, you add bones, you modify this, and you go to, what is this? You regenerate the rig. Where is it? What am I looking at? Oh, I got click. So I click this guy. I'm clicking the meta rig, the thing we were using earlier to make the bones. If you hit this regenerate button, it's basically gonna just delete this rig, and it's going to recreate a new one. So basically, this one, if you actually animated, made poses, all this stuff, this would all get deleted if you regenerate. So just keep that in mind before you add. Make sure to save new copies before you do stuff like this, so you can always come back to it if you not lose like hours of work. But anyways, let's. So that's what I wanted to show you. So real quick, what we want to try to do in our case is we're gonna say like, hey, I want to come back in here. I want to add bones for the hair. I want to add a butt bone, so the butt can not deform, and I can also move it when I pose. So let's go back to pose mode, select everything, just reset it. Let's hide this rig. Let's go back to meta rig. Click this guy, and let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna tuck this away. Let's save again. Let's go to edit mode. Let's go to solid mode. And let's add a butt bone real quick. Let's see where I want to go here. So I'm in edit mode. I select the bones, I go to edit mode. I press Shift A to add a bone. Make it smaller. Symmetry is on. And in this case, I want it to go straight back like this. So I'm looking at the rotation angle at 90. Make it smaller. I'm gonna place it right here for now. But let's say, if you look at the naming convention, so you look at edit mode, select this guy. Their naming convention is thigh.l, pelvis.l. So we'll follow that same naming convention for our bone. We'll call it butt.l. Make a copy. You could also mirror it if you had it as a separate object, but in this case, we'll just do this. I'll make that a different name. Butt.r. So we got butt.l, butt.r. And then we're still in edit mode. I'm gonna use the snapping tool and snap it to the hip joint. And so when this hip joint rotates this way, this will also rotate, so it kind of helps keep the form. Also, since we have symmetry on, it did it for the other side too. Let's turn off this for now. Let's make this smaller. Actually, let's grab this and pull it in. That. And right now, I want to grab this guy, and I'm gonna click this guy first, click this guy second, press Control P to make a parent, and then we're gonna keep offset. Let's go back a sec. If you do what am I doing? If you select this guy, go Control P and do connected, it snaps to the end of it, so it goes down there, which we don't want. So select this guy, Control P, offset. And in your head, you're thinking, okay, well now these are parented, so if I move this, that should move too. But it's weird, I don't 100% understand this, but in edit mode, and I guess MetaRig knows that this is parented, so you won't see the traditional like, oh, since this is a parent, this will move with it. So just keep that in mind. If you want to visually see the parenting, you can click this guy, or you can click either one. Click this guy, go to press I think numpad dot to focus on where it is, and you can see if you click this guy, its name is thigh or thigh. If you go open thigh, you'll see this butt bone is now like inside of the hierarchy. If you don't, you'll probably see it outside of the spine over here below. So you could just see, like, visually confirm that it is actually parented. And also, since this is mirrored, it's already being done on this side too, so it's already here. So we did the butt bone. It's not gonna have weights when we first run it, but we'll just easily add automatic weights on it. So it'll be very simple. Let's add this one now. Let's do it a different way, just to show you a second way of adding bones. Okay, so let's hope to God I get this right. So let's go to side view. We're in object mode, Shift A. Where is this? Where is this? Armature, single bone. Make that smaller. Make it smaller. So let's say maybe like this. Kind of get that about right. And then let's kind of get this right here. Kind of looking at it from multiple angles. And let me see. We're still edit. Let's go to edit mode. Add a next bone. I don't want to make this too heavy, but just enough to give it some control. I might take this all the way down. Actually, wait, let's do it right here. All the way down here. I want to keep it straight, so I won't follow this curve. Okay, so let's say we're happy with that bone set. Let's call this one, click the first guy. Let's call it pigtail dot L. Just copy that name. Go down to the next one. Paste it. It'll automatically add a 1 for it, which is cool. Okay. And then now we want to duplicate over there, so we'll go. Let's see, make sure it's right. We're still in object mode. I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to go to, I think I have mirror set right here, so we can do this. Wait, I messed up. So we have a duplicate. You can see the dot, that's the origin of the object up there. I'm going to clear it, so all transforms, so you can see it disappears. It goes to the center origin. And now if I mirror it, you can see it snaps over there. This is in object mode, by the way. I'm trying to think of something real quick. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Okay, I'll probably remember later. I don't want to waste time. So we can then grab all these bones. I'm trying to remember what man, I can't remember. It's okay. So grab these bones. We're object mode. Grab the body, the darn, sorry, let's hide this character. So let's grab these bones, grab the meta rig. I'm gonna grab the meta rig last so that it keeps the name. Press, oh, that messed up. I want to make sure this is last. There you go. So this is the last active. Boom. I just press combine. My shortcut's C. I forget. I don't remember what the default is. I think it's Control L, but I don't know 100%. You just combine them, and then sorry, just got a message. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot to do real quick. Well, it's all meta rig now, which is awesome. So if you actually look in here, it should be next to spine. So spine's chilling. These guys are added. But let's see. So this is pigtail L. I forgot to rename these. Or let's copy that across them all. Let me see what we're at with the time. Please don't tell me you did a lot. Oh my god, we're at 35 minutes. God. Okay, so anyways. So that's named correctly now. Cool. So I'm gonna parent this guy to the head. And I'm gonna press Control P, offset. This guy, Control P, offset. Oh, it's already mirrored. I mean, since it's mirrored, it already did the other side for me, so we're good. So if you actually look at where this guy is, and it's actually under spine 6, which is the head, which is perfect. So we successfully added the pigtails as a new object, a separate armature, and then we combined it into the meta rig. So now, which was different than that. Now we can, now that we added the bones, let's bring back the character. We want to tell Rigify what these bones are going to do. And I want these to have kind of a very clean S-curvy effect to it. So if I pull this one, I want the rest to kind of follow in a nice curve. You might not always want this, so you can always experiment with the different types of bones. But in my case, I want that. And for the butt, I just want a simple kind of act it like a normal bone. So I'll show you the two types I use for those. So really quick, click the bones, go to pose mode, click on this guy, and it's going to be under this tab, bone tab, and you can tell it what type of bone this would be. And we're going to do tentacle simple. And it's kind of confusing, but you only do it for the first bone. You don't do it for the rest of them. You just leave them empty. So nothing in these. Same thing on this side, just tentacle. And then down here, for this bone, we'll make it super copy. This guy too, super copy. Okay, and now everything is set up to go. We're ready to regenerate. Let's cross our fingers. Hopefully nothing blows up. Let's save. Click this guy. And go back to this tab, object mode. Down here, regenerate rig. Okay, it's loading, which is a great sign. That means no error messages so far. Also, earlier when we applied this, for example, as tentacle. All right, so I found out what was happening. So we have our meta rig. We hit the generate button. We get this rig. And then I was surprised because like, oh no, what happened? There's no controls for our bones we added. But if you actually go to this tab, we're in object mode, you go to the data tab, and you see all these. These are basically like allowing you to hide and show the different bone sets. But for me I think I hid this a while ago and I didn't know how to bring it back, but it was this bone. So you click on bones, and you can see the controls for our braids are there. So now that they're back, let's see what happens when we go to pose mode. So you can see right off the bat, it doesn't actually move. So we're like, oh no, it doesn't work. And this butt bone doesn't do anything. So we're like, oh no, it doesn't work, but we didn't actually put weights on them yet. So if you go back to this mode, and in our case, you know, we could go in our case, we just auto-generate it, so we didn't spend any time on it. And we're gonna do that too, I think. We're gonna do it one more time. So click the body, click the rig, go to Control P, automatic weights, and it's gonna go through and add a rough estimation of where the bones are to what the mesh is doing. So this is totally fine for what we need. So now if we go back to here, click on this, go to pose mode, click on this guy, you can see now the hair is moving as we want. And you could scale it. You could do something like rotate this in, rotate this way. You can like adjust in the middle, scale it from there, rotate them. This is using the tentacle rig set. Select everything, reset it. You can also see the butt. So the butt is now being affected by that bone. So again, this is a new rig, so if we did make poses or animations or any keyframes, they're all gone. So last time we had, we clicked these, we set these to FK, but now they're new. This is a new rig, so we have to do that again. So real quick, just for the legs, just FK, raise this leg. So now, we kind of compare what it did from before. You could bring this back up like this, for example, and keep that form if you wanted. And you could do this like kind of over here on the knees. You could do that on the elbows. You could do that kind of wherever you want. And so that was just to kind of show you how you could add custom bones for your Rigify rig. And if you ever wanted to make more changes, we could obviously... Oh, one more thing actually. So let's say we wanted to give the butt more weight. We would actually we don't paint the weights on meta rig, we actually paint it on this rig. So it's actually this one, it's this one, it's def, which I think means define bones, or don't remember, deformation bones. That's what it stands for, deformation bones. So these controls don't actually have the weights on them. So if you go weight paint, see if we can weight paint here. I don't think I can go weight paint, let's see. No, it's not an option. Oh no, you click this, sorry. You click object, you have this, you select the rig, you select the mesh that has the weight paints, then you go weight paint. And you can see if you kind of alt click through these, you can see these don't have weights on them, which is what, what's supposed to happen. But what it actually is if you go here and you put the start button to isolate it, and then you can go to X-ray and you can see these are actually where the weights are. So you click this, click the bones, click the body, weight paint, and click on this, you can see this is where all the weights are. So our custom butt bone is this, and you can go in here, customize it, add weights. Same over here. Oh god, that's not what I want to do. If you go, wait, what? What's happening? I am hitting the wrong button. Okay, so if you go through the hair, you can see, and again, this is where you can do the show bones. This is my shortcut, but it's actually over here, this guy. So you can make that a favorites as well when you weight paint, which is really helpful. And you can see and control it and like smooth it out. So let me show bones again. And so that's where the weights are. And also, you can also quick favorites that one, this bone. So I've quick favorited this button too. So I can easily go back and forth to paint weights. And if you see, it's right here. And we're in object mode, by the way. Object mode, so. And then back here, we're going to pose this again, and we reset everything. And there you go. That's how you add custom pigtails. You can also do this with clothing too. You can do this bone and custom extra like bones to control deformations. Thank you. Have a good one.